hope that you all are ready for the most downright vile, most toxic episode of Criticalist Cast news to date. Why? Because we are talking about Tomb Raider. The new live-action Tomb Raider show that is supposedly on its way. All of you were hoping that Phoebe Waller-Bridge would fall on her face and this show would never get made, and now we have casting news. And the question is, have they found our Tomb Raider? Have they not learned from any lessons, and are they going to listen to the fool writing the show, or are they going to do what's right and go back to the roots of Tomb Raider? I'm here to discuss it and to talk about my potential fan castings for who I think should really be in this role. So let's go ahead and dig into it. As always, make sure to throw us that subscribe, give us the comments and the likes, and visit Criticalist.com. We're an entertainment reviewing platform for reviewing movies and television shows, but we are much more than that. We're a social place where you can hang out, make friends, and just talk about what you've been watching lately. But I'm going to go ahead and get on to this news because it is spicy. So the news here is that Tomb Raider is in discussions, and Sophie Turner and Lucy Boynton, I don't know how to say that last name, but apparently I do recognize her, but it says that they are testing for Lara Croft in Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Amazon series. Now, this show has been a hot topic for quite some time, and once they announced that Phoebe Waller-Bridge was going to be making the show, we were all like, oh god, we're doomed. This woman, everything she touches has turned to trash lately, and she's just, her life goal, I think, is to destroy everything that you love and just pretty much insert some level of extreme modern feminist agenda into it, and that's either your bag or it's not, and for a lot of people it's not, and especially for Tomb Raider fans, it's not what they want. So I'm going to go ahead and read the article, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes and get real toxic up in here. So what it says is, in what is shaping up to be one of the hottest TV casting searches this fall, Amazon MGM Studios has assessed a wish list of accomplished young actors for the role of Lara Croft in Tomb Raider, Prime Video's high-profile series adaptation of the video game franchise from Emmy-winning Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Let me go ahead and jump in here really quickly and say I did watch Fleabag back when it came out, and I did like it, and I thought that she was going to go on to do great things. I was disappointed from everything after that. So then it says Sophie Turner and Lucy Boynton from Bohemian Rhapsody are poised to test for the part previously played on big screen by Angelina Jolie and Alicia Vikander, one of which was a bit of a franchise where they did, I think, 2 movies. They were mildly okay as far as how they were received, and then the Alicia Vikander one was based off the new video game series, which wasn't super well received. I don't even know that hardly anybody saw it. So it says it is unclear who else would be doing a test for the famous role, a process that has been shrouded in secrecy. Some of the names on the wish list alongside Turner and Boynton include Emma Corrin, Mackenzie Davis, are not believed to be testing. Now, that they are among the names that are being talked about. And then what it says is that Amazon MGM Studios declined to comment. Now, what it does break down here is it does say, in combination with one of the best-known action heroines in popular culture and one of the top female TV creators in Waller-Bridge, has turned Lara Croft into a hotly pursued role for actors in their late 20s and 30s. So they do have an age range there, and it says Tomb Raider, which Amazon MGM Studios head Jennifer Sulk called epic and globetrotting. So when they announced it and then talked about, you know, Waller-Bridge doing it, and, you know, she's claiming that she's super excited for this, but she's lost all goodwill at this point. Now, first, we need to talk about Tomb Raider. If you're not familiar with Tomb Raider, she, for us old school video games, us 80s, 90s, and 2000s kids even, those of us that grew up in peak Tomb Raider knows that not only was she a badass female character and just this kind of female Indiana Jones in a sense. The other thing that she was notorious for was being sexy. She was, you know, one of these icons in video games as far as just this very feminine, sexual character. Now, I want to go ahead and bring up an original ad just to lean into this here. Now, this was shared by Critical Drinker, and this was an ad. This is an actual ad, and it says, "Are you sure you want me to wear this?" And the boyfriend and the girlfriend here and her her sexy time cosplay. So this is a real ad for Tomb Raider 3. Another ad for Tomb Raider 3 was right here. And it literally, it's in France, or in French, but it also says it's even better the third time. This is a real ad for the game. They knew who they were marketing to. They knew their audience. And I mean, the number one thing in OG Tomb Raider was these pointy, hooters, one might say. So this was known within the video game community. It was just, that was the thing. She was this hot chick with big pointy boobs who wore short pants. And, obviously you've seen from the ads that the, game studios and everybody leaned into this. Everybody knew the deal. Now, what I want to go ahead and show you as well is the other people that they are looking at. So, we see right here, we've got Sophie Turner. We know her from Game of Thrones, and then Lucy here as well. Now, Lucy, I wasn't familiar with what she's done, but apparently she was in Barbie and Murder on the Orient Express, and she's done quite a few other things as well. Now, I think that she has more of the vibe and look, or could potentially pull that off, and I think that I think maybe Sophie Turner could do it as well, but both of these women, I don't view them as like these, super curvy type of actresses, really, which is who you'd think they'd go for, just simply being that that's what the character is connected to. Now, the other names that were mentioned, this is the most like on the nose for modern casting here, which is Emma Corrin, who is a notoriously like a they/them, so someone who is not leaning into being very feminine and things like that, regularly has a buzzed head, just not one of those type of people. And then also, and you did probably see her recently in Deadpool and Wolverine. So then we also have Mackenzie Davis, who is okay. I've seen her in some things. I don't know if she's quite the best fit either, but she's been around for a good bit longer and has done things like Blade Runner and The Martian and the Terminator film that not a whole lot of people were super crazy about. Now, do I like any of these castings? No, I'm not crazy about it. Am I surprised that who they are looking at right now is not who I would pick? No, I'm not surprised at all. It makes perfect sense for modern Hollywood. Now, into the fan casting here. I'm gonna throw some names out in the mix. If Amazon, if you're listening, tell Phoebe Waller-Bridge to just shut her mouth and have no part in casting, and we'll move forward from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my number one pick here. Right here, we've got Mika Abdallah. Now, I recently saw her in a movie called Snack Shack, which I think is really solid. It's a 90s homage that I highly recommend, but I think she did a great job. It's the first time I've seen her in anything, and she's got the vibe. She really leans into being feminine, and just everything that she was kind of pulling off in that movie kind of screamed to that as well. And I think she's got the look, the vibe. And also, let me say, if you know anything about Lara Croft, the character is British. I think that it is very simple for an American actress to do a British accent. We have legendary characters from the Americas being played by non-American people, so I think it's totally fair to do the opposite. So I don't think it's a big deal if we get an American actress for this role. Now, the next one might come as a surprise, a little bit of a shock, but actually, what about Sabrina Carpenter? Hear me out for a moment. If you know Sabrina Carpenter right now, she is huge, but known for her music now. But she got her start in acting, and I think that she could pull it off. This is another one of these people that are now coming out in Hollywood and seeing the void that has been left, to where sexuality has been taken away from women within Hollywood. They don't want them to be sexy or cute or attractive. They want to kind of just seem to turn them into men. So Sabrina is clearly filling that void, and men everywhere love her for good reason, and I think that she could be fun in this role. Now, is she super duper curvy? No. Does she have the proper the hooters? Not exactly, but I can let it slide because she's pretty great. Now, last choice here, slightly out of the age range, but I think possibly a perfect choice here, which is, my girl, Alexandria Daddario. I mean, look at her. She 10 out of 10, guys. Come on. And I mean, she's been acting a while. She's been around. People know her. She's got the star power, but she's not so big that she'd be unattainable for this role. Like, I think she would be perfect. And she is another one of these actresses that leans very hard into being very feminine and all of that. So I am all for her being in the role, but I think that all three of my choices are better than the ones mentioned, but I am still leaning mostly towards Mika because I think she does a great job. She is a younger actress. She can have time to kind of get into this role and make a name for herself. But the problem is really going to come down to what and how Phoebe Waller-Bridge writes this show, because it's probably going to be a steaming hot pile of trash, even if they get the perfect actress. But out of the two she's chosen so far, I guess these two at least, or that they're looking at, I would lean more towards these two than the other two they mentioned, because come on, like, just no, please no. We've got to at least lean into what this character is known for, which is just being very feminine and sexual. But we'll see if that actually happens. But anyways, guys, that has been your very most toxic episode of Criticalist Cast News, and I'm not sorry. So I will be back to either do news or review very soon. We'll see what happens and what shakes out over the next couple days, but just make sure to visit criticalist.com, and as always, go down in the comments and let me know what you think. Give me your fan casting. I want to know who you think is best for this role. I think that I obviously have the best opinions, and so obviously you can pick one of mine, and then just let me know your thoughts on all of this, and we will be back again soon. Everybody take it easy. Later.